Well, I mean, we didn't start the way we wanted to start. A little bit fatigued. I mean, just kind of in a little bit of a funk to get started. And then we battled a little bit of foul trouble too. So the big thing was just we burned a couple of timeouts. Like, hey, let's play the brand of basketball we've been playing here of late. Settle down, just focus on getting stops, and then we'll figure out a way to get back in this thing.
Not having Page and William, do you feel like that kind of what started it? Not having those two, and then that's starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, maybe to a degree. I mean, not having that availability might have hurt a little bit, but to our bench's credit, Abby Davidson, Mac Hurd, Bella Sams, Abby Leiber all came in and gave us big minutes when Shea and Haley were in foul trouble. So they kind of bought us a little bit of time, and then we kind of settled down, and then kind of got back into the flow of things to cut it to 8 at halftime.
Is there an update on those two for tomorrow?
We should be good to go. Should be good to go. Should have everybody available.
John, one of the things you kind of talked about in the last couple of weeks that kind of contributed to the run that you guys have had over the past month is just the sense of urgency, especially from the older players, with this thing coming down to the wire, wanting to kind of end things strong, end their kind of college careers strong. How have you seen that sense of urgency kind of manifest itself, amongst the players, whether it be in games, in practice, or even off the floor?
I mean, I think coming down the stretch here, I mean, they all feel the sense of finality, and they want to finish things on a positive note, given the circumstances that they've been through and the obstacles, challenges. So I think that's it's kind of hardened us a little bit. So maybe we don't get as phased if things are going on the road for the stretch that we went on. Like, it's just, how can we put ourselves in a position to win the game at the end? So to their credit, they've stepped up and accepted the challenge.
And with how the team has rallied in the last month, and the adjustments that you guys have put in, the coaching staff with implementing the press, and occasionally going to zone and stuff like that. Just how do you feel like just with how the team has kind of closed down the stretch here? Do you feel like that kind of helped the chances of maybe kind of getting the permanent job, going forward after the season?
Well, I mean, I would like to think that we've put ourselves in a position to have that opportunity. I mean, the big thing since the announcement is like, okay, let's truly make it our own with what we have to work with, and see how we can tweak some things to make things happen and make things favorable for us as best we can. I feel like we're playing pretty good basketball right now, so we'll have a huge challenge in front of us tomorrow for sure. But to only lose one game in February right now, and that was to Green Bay, I mean, I feel like that kind of speaks for itself.
And, just because of how long you've been with the program, that sense of continuity and being able to kind of continue to build what you've been a part of for these last 10 years, do you feel like also that helps in your case as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I certainly know the lay of the land. I mean, with the administration, I mean, just Youngstown in itself, selling Youngstown. So I would like to think that would be an advantage to my factor. So, I mean, the big thing is trying to execute here down the stretch and keep winning games and make things difficult for Ron.
John, just to follow up a little bit, I mean, obviously you got to worry about the season, but is that in the back of your mind? Have you done enough to get the job permanent?
To be determined. I mean, the big thing is us trying to win games here down the stretch, and we want to keep building on the momentum that we have, and as that we're jockeying for positions for Horizon League play. Certainly, I mean, we want to get to Indy. I mean, make no bones about it. We want to get there. And that's something we haven't done with really, really good teams the last 2 years, that we felt like we had the talent and everything, and for whatever reason, it didn't happen. There's a lot, not just our staff, but everybody in the locker room feels like that's something that is a high priority for us.
You've got, it's been a whirlwind since October. Do you feel maybe your name
That's a great question. I would like to think so. Especially, I think, especially from January 18th and 19th on, like it's kind of like, okay, we know what it looks like now, coaches and coming back. So the big thing was kind of mentioned earlier, like let's really put our stamp on what we have to work with and try to make some changes and make it look more of our own than what it did early on.
Where this team started conference play to where it seems like it's ending and the momentum that you guys have. I mean, you're in a position now where you said, Jockey, we're talking about first round buys and home games that are a real possibility here down the stretch. How far has this team come from those days?
Yeah, I mean, light years. After one of our games, and I think it might have been after the road sweep in Michigan, reading John's article, Vogel's article, talking about being in earshot of possibly being one of the 4 seeds. That kind of really got us, hey, all right, let's talk about this a little bit. Well, going to talk to the team about it, and they were very aware of it already. So, no, I think that's something that's a motivating factor for them, and they again, they want to go out on a high note and really leave their mark here with the time that they have left.
And then Dina got her Rising Player of the Week. Just kind of talk about that. For her accomplishment.
I mean, she's put up. I feel like there's been times during the year that she's put up numbers worthy of that. But it's hard to get that. But she started off a little rocky at NKU. And to her credit, she found a way to battle through some stuff and really we were leaning on her pretty heavy at the end. And I thought her and Shay especially really carried us down the stretch offensively. So we're happy for Dina. I mean, she does a lot of stuff for us. So we just need her to play with that kind of fire and spark tomorrow against Cleveland State.
You know, when you guys get back into town, did you do anything fun for your birthday weekend?
We did. We have told them on road wins, if we can get a road win, we'll take them for ice cream. And after the Wright State win, they were pretty worn out, and it was a late game anyway, so they didn't really feel like doing something like that. So that night, but I asked them, I'm like, what do you guys want to do? I'm like, we're going to get back around 8 or 9. I was like, we can figure out something different. But they're like, no, we want to make sure that you get some birthday ice cream for that. So we did hit up something on the way right after we got out of Cincinnati.